Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to build this really easy and simple melon and pumpkin farm. So as you can see, I'm actually growing just pumpkins because pumpkins are a lot more useful than melons, but you can also have melons in this farm. It'll still work exactly the same way. I'm going to first off show you these two simple ones, and then I'll show you those ones over there, which are a lot more faster. So first off, this one is a single tile one, so you cannot tile this. I mean, you can if you want, but that version over there is way more tileable. So first off, materials. You're going to need one piston, one observer, one hopper, any type of Minecraft hoe, some dirt, and you need a pumpkin seed or a melon seed, at least one, and then a chest, some building blocks, and 2 redstone dust, and a bucket of water, which is optional. Okay, so once you got all your materials, now it's time to start building this farm. So first off, you're going to place down 2 dirt, like this, and then on one of them, you're going to turn into farmland. So I'm going to turn this one into farmland, add a pumpkin or melon seed, and then add an observer facing into this melon or pumpkin seed. So if I go over here and then I look at on this side, I right click, then as you can see, now the observer is facing the plant. If I press the top part, then it'll actually go right there. So that's why you want to place it on this side, small little side spot right here. So once you've done that, now all I have to do is add a piston that's facing into this dirt, and then just surround your area like this. And also have 2 blocks here with redstone dust. We actually don't need this stuff here, but we do need this area to be covered up like this. With building blocks like that. And then you can take a chest, break a block, and add a chest there. And then add a hopper going into the chest by right-clicking onto the chest like this. Also shift-clicking, so you have to hold shift. Once you've got it like this, all you have to do is just cover up this area and this area, and you're actually good now. And you don't need the chest, that's optional because items can just go in the hopper and you can just grab it from here. But if you want to be fancy, you can add a chest. And also another optional thing, but something I really recommend, would be water. So if you have a water bucket, come over to your farm, and then right where the plant is, so over here, just add a water source and you can cover it back up like that. I would also recommend adding some light so that your stem in here can grow faster. Mine is already fully grown, but yours is probably not fully grown at the moment. And if you're in a hurry, then all you have to do is just bone meal your plant, so then it would be fully grown, so then it'll start producing melons or pumpkins. So there we go, now you've got a fully functioning AFK-able melon and pumpkin farm. Now I'll show you how to build these tileable versions, which produce a lot more melons and pumpkins. Before I go on with the video, consider pressing that red subscribe button. It's free and it really helps out the channel. Okay, so back to materials. So first off, you're going to need some powered rails and also some normal rails, which are actually optional, but I mean, you're most likely going to need to use them anyways. And then some hopper minecarts, at least one. You are also still going to need all of these other materials. Okay, so first off, you're going to want to have a flat area like this, where you're going to build your farm. So I'm actually going to make a fancy base like this. So once you've got your base, all you have to do is just add a lot of rails going on it like this. So as you can see, I'm using rails even though they're optional, because over there, as you can see, there are actually no normal rails in this build. There are only powered rails. But you're most likely building this in survival, and powered rails are pretty expensive. So I would recommend just using those. So like I said, you're going to zigzag around here. And as you can see, when I reach right here, it connects with this rail, which we don't want because we want to zigzag it all the way to the end. So what you're going to want to do is just add a block right here, break this rail, and then add a rail here, and then you can just go like this and continue your journey. Okay, so once your minecart track starts looking like this, now it's time to add the powered rails. So for most of you guys, your farm is probably not going to look exactly like this, because as you can see over here and over here, you can literally make this farm in any shape or form. But what you want to do is have at least one powered rail every 6 blocks. So let's go. And also you need one at the beginning. So I'm going to add one here at the beginning, and you need a block here too, so then the minecart hopper will bounce off the wall and start heading the opposite direction. So you need one here, and then at the end too. So one here. And then you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you count to 6, so like in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's on a corner, you're going to want to add the rail behind it right here, and then keep going from there. So here is what my track looks like, and now it's time to power these. So I would recommend just using a lever. That's the easiest way to do it. Oh, for some reason I have caps on. And just go like this, and if your rails are don't have a side exposed like right here, then all you have to do is just dig down like this, and then just count to where how many blocks this thing is. So it's 2 deep, so I just have to go 1, 2, and that's where I'd place the lever, and you just keep on doing that with every single one. So once you've done that, all you have to do is just add your minecart like this, and then start adding blocks on top of your track. So you need to use either grass or dirt, so I'm going to use grass, and just make a platform right above your track. And make sure all of your blocks have a minecart track under it, because if they don't, then there's a chance that those items that land on that block will not be collected. And now it's time to add water. Even though water is optional, when you're building something as big as this, I would highly recommend adding water, because once you start turning all these blocks into farmland, they're gonna start turning back into dirt, and that's not what you want. So as long as your dirt platform is only 4 blocks wide in one direction, and you have the water going along on the longer side, then you should be fine. But if your platform is wider than 4 blocks, let's say at least 5 blocks, or even 10 blocks, then what you're going to need to do is break one of the blocks in the middle and place a slab on the lower end like this. So not like this, but like this, and then you can add water, and the water will actually not flow down and destroy your minecart rails. But in my case, I actually don't need this, so I'll just remove it. So now it's time to turn some of these blocks into farmland. So you're going to want to turn one block into farmland, then skip that block, and then do another one like this. And you want to have it in a diagonal pattern like this. So if I keep going along, it's gonna be in this like checkerboard shape. And now it's time to plant your crops. So now it's time to add the pistons and the observers. So what you're going to want to do is make a 2 block high roof like this that is covering your whole platform. And now it's time to add the pistons. So first off, you're going to want to place a piston right above a grass or dirt block, not above a plant. So make sure you're placing these pistons right above a dirt block. So first off, you're going to want to shift click, look up, and look up to the closest you can to looking straight up, but on the block that's above the plant like this, and then right click. And I know that sounded pretty confusing, but once you've got it down, it's really easy. You just gotta shift click like this and skip every block like that. Oops, I messed up. Like that. And once you've gone the first row, now it's time to add the observers. So you're going to want to place the observer, instead of on the side of the plant, on top of the plant like this. And also make sure that you're not too far away, or else if you place it on top, the observer will be facing in the wrong direction. So make sure you get as close as possible in order to place the observer. So now it's time to repeat this pattern for all the other rows. And just remember, you have to make sure that you're doing it on the right block, because remember, they're all checkered, so they're not going to be in the same spot as last time. And for the last row, you might have to add a few extra blocks so you can place the last row. Now you can break this temporary roof, and also make sure that all of your pistons and observers are in the right spot. And now place redstone dust on top of the observers. So now the technical parts of your farm are actually done. You can actually leave it running like this, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because first off, we still have to build a wall around it so some of the blocks will not escape, and also it'd be nice to have a collection system as well. So for the wall, you're just gonna build all around the farm like this, including over the water like this. And once you've made sure everything is encased, you can also add some jack-o'-lanterns or other solid blocks that produce light randomly so that your melons will have light to grow faster. So now the collection system is optional, but is very easy to build, and I would highly recommend it. So first off, you're going to flick this lever so that the powered rail is off, and wait until the minecart hopper has stopped. So once it's stopped, then all you have to do is just break 2 blocks like this, add a chest, and then walk into here. And while you're holding shift, just right click onto the chest with your hopper, and then boom, it'll be facing your chest. And then just add the missing block that was broken, and then add a rail, and then shift click on top of the hopper like this, and add another rail like that. And now all you have to do is flick the lever and your farm is ready to go. Also make sure that you don't have any powered rails close to the hopper like this, or else any blocks that fall into it will not be able to go into the chest. So just make sure that you don't have any redstone power sources next to the hopper. And like before, you can also bone meal all of these crops. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a like, and while you're down there, leave a comment on what I should do next. If you have not already, consider pressing that sub button. And before I go, I just want to say that you matter. See ya later.